Joe Hopkins here, and I know the title of this video is a bit controversial. It's not just to get attention, right? Although, hey, I'm hoping, but it's something I wanted to talk about, right? Because I've talked about this with my doctor. Apparently it's a thing, and apparently other people have had similar problems with COVID. And if you have, tell me in the comments below, right? But anyway, it says COVID stole my muscles, and yeah, it kind of did, and a level of my fitness. So to give you an idea of the level of fitness I was at pre-COVID, I started running track in late elementary school. By middle school, I was running track. I got into martial arts, and then I got into boxing. I'm glad I started track first, because I'll tell you, if you're a boxer, you're a runner, right? I was never particularly fast or good at any of those things. Not good enough to do those things for on a even high amateur level, but I was better than most. You know what I mean? I was in that place both with track and with fighting, where a little more work maybe I could have gotten somewhere, but that's neither here nor there. The point is I was in pretty good shape. My interests have always been, music, fitness, and cars. So there you go. So anyway, I've always been into outdoors kind of stuff, always been in pretty good shape. There was a period in my life where I ran a 5K a day for several years. You know what I mean? I never actually competed, never ran a 5K race, but I'd actually tracked out a 5K and would run it every day and time myself, and realized my times would probably, if I did go out and compete, probably put me top 10 or 15, but I'm never going to win anything. I'm never going to be top 3, right? But there you go. It's fun. I enjoy doing it. I ran a lot for a lot of years, and I did a lot of cardio, and got into a lot of kind of stuff. I can show you a picture of me from 2011 here. This is when I was doing P90X. I'd gone through it, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. I was on my second round doing that Insanity program. I'd gotten to the point in Insanity where literally with the fit test, I was doing more than the participants on the video and not out of breath when I'm done the fit test. Seriously, I was in really, really good shape. And then I got into weightlifting, right? I went from cardio and calisthenics mostly, push-ups, pull-ups. I mean, I was pumping out push-ups 70, 75 on my first set, pull-ups 30, 35, first set of pull-ups, just pumping them out. And then I got into weightlifting. Now, I'd always lifted weights, but I got into powerlifting, serious weightlifting, and was trying to put on size. Well, as you eat different, you live different. I mean, the whole time I was working out, I always tried to get enough calories. That's the big thing when you're really exercising hard, when you're really going at it. It's not about losing weight. It's about making sure you eat enough and enough of the right things, right? So I got into weightlifting. I don't put on size easy. I'm a lean guy. It's great for running, great for calisthenics, great for that kind of stuff. Really wanted to put on size, which means making for damn sure you eat enough of the right things, tracking your macros. It's a lot of discipline, hitting the weights every day, twice a day when I can, making sure you get enough sleep. I mean, the big things are eat enough and enough of the right things in the right ratios, getting enough sleep, and getting your workouts in. And that's a lot of self-discipline, especially with the eating. When I was bulking, it's all I did was eat and sleep when I wasn't working out. It seems I'd go to work and I'd just be eating all day, a snack here, a snack there. You know what I mean? Not big meals all at once, but just constantly. So I managed to get to a point where I had some pretty decent size on me. I got up to 205 pounds, fairly lean. I'm 6'1", right? That first picture I showed you, I think I was around 165, right? Well, I got up to 205, 40 pounds over that. I'll show you another picture here. And that's me at 205 pounds, right? And fairly lean. I mean, And then in November of 2020, I got COVID. And of course, you know, you expect, because I got sick enough, I was laying around for about a month where I'm not trying to work out. I'm not trying to push my luck. Even when I started to feel better, I got to get over this. I don't want to relapse. So you expect I'm going to lose some fitness. I'm going to lose some muscle. It's a month of laying around. And when I got back to it, what I found, and my doctor told me this wasn't terribly uncommon, was trying to get back into any kind of cardio, or even with going real hard at the weights. Before I could do, let me put it this way, from after I had COVID, I could still do what I was doing before, but not for as long or for as hard. I'd hit a wall. And it's been like that ever since. I've been working at pushing that wall back, but it's still like I can't get to the level of fitness I was at before that. Now, granted, that's not the only reason. It's also because around that time we're homeschooling the kid, and my job became more demanding, and a lot of things came up, and I haven't been able to make the time to focus on fitness like I did before. I'm still staying fit, but not to that level. I just don't have the time for it. I also really don't have the motivation to have that level of discipline again, right? Because, I mean, it really is difficult. When you're at that level of fitness, there's a lot of things you don't do, and a lot of things you do that it takes a lot of discipline, right? There's also the fact that cost of groceries went up, and all the good foods are more expensive. We all know that. You can eat all the crap you want and it's cheap. But what's crazy is through COVID, I actually, I lost about 35 pounds. Now you can tell, I'll show you another picture here. Does that look like a guy that can afford to lose 35 pounds? There's not 35 pounds of fat there. That's for damn sure. And I mean, there's a little bit of fat. I mean, I'll be honest with you. By the time COVID was over, I was pretty lean. I mean, I went from lean to downright ripped. But I lost 35 pounds. And a lot of it was muscle. And it showed when I tried to get back into weightlifting. And all of a sudden, all of my lifts were way down. I mean, they just went. I think before COVID, for instance, I was benching about 285. And after COVID, I was benching like 215. And that's sad. That's really messed up, man. I hadn't been down to benching 215 for a couple of years before that. Well, more like 10 years. I mean, crap, even before I got into heavy weightlifting, I could do that, but that's what it was back down to. It was crazy. My deadlift was I was just cresting over 400 pounds on my deadlift, and all of a sudden I'm down to like 320, you know. But 35 pounds, and I mean, you can see I was putting on size there, especially compared to the first picture, and yeah, it really messed me up. And mostly I'm just making this video to talk about it. It's cathartic to talk about it, right? Because it's something that's bothered me. Years of getting to a point, and it disappeared in just like that because of an illness. Which, hey man, I accept. We are fragile human beings. And that's not the worst thing that could have happened. At least it didn't, put me in a position where I can't get back there at some point. Although I don't know if I'm going to. I'm still in pretty good shape for my age, and I stay in shape. I'm back to doing calisthenics and stuff, and I'm just starting to get back into the weightlifting, mostly because, like I said, time constraints. I can do push-ups and pull-ups and body weight stuff between other things. Those are things you can do anywhere, right? So I could just put the pull-up bar in the doorway and do that while I'm doing other things around the house. While I'm homeschooling the kid, while, I could do a set of push-ups between lessons with the kid. But the weights, I got to actually drag them out and set them up. I don't have a space where I can set up my weights. So in the past, my warm-up was dragging everything out and setting it up. And my cool-down was putting it all back, That's a pretty good warm-up, actually. When you got to drag out the bench and the stands and the weights and set everything up, that'll warm you up. But anyway, yeah, you see how I look then, and, I don't think I'm in terrible shape. I think I'm all right. But I'm not what I was. And given my age, I mean, I'm 44 at the time of recording this, I think I'm in pretty damn good shape for a 44-year-old man. But as I get older, I know it would be harder to get back to where I was. You know what I mean? At the height of my muscularity, I was just getting into my 40s there. You know, I was just 42 years old. It was almost 2 years ago. So, I don't know. Maybe I can get back there. I'm not one of them guys that wants to take like substances. You know what I mean? I was sticking to protein and creatine and multivitamins and stuff and getting everything else in my diet. That's kind of the way I am. I know it's a lot easier to get back to put it all on if you're doing things that are maybe less than healthy for you. But I don't want to do that. Plus, I mean, who has that kind of money? You know what I mean? You can get cheap stuff out there, but no, it's an even worse idea. So, you know, plus I'm not doing it for any reason other than I like it. I like being in shape. So I thought I'd just share that with you guys because it's interesting. I think it's interesting. I looked it up and I've seen other people, bodybuilders and fitness people that lost a lot of muscle with COVID. And I've seen people that are into like running and cardio stuff that have also post-COVID not been able to do what they could and find it really difficult to push through that wall to get back to it. So I thought I'd share that, you know, 2 years after it happened to me, or almost 2 years, right? Because right now it's what, September of 22, and this was November of 2020. But I found it interesting. I thought you might find it interesting. And after this video, I think I'm probably going to get back to some other things that I usually do. But first, let's see what we got here. I have a message from our sponsor. Let's see. What does it say? How dare you offend the peacock, who is really a chicken? Keep that in mind. And subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment. And I got playlists at the end here that you can check out, right? Nothing else about fitness, I'm afraid. It's all just, you know, instrument reviews and songs and stuff like that. But I think they're cool. Maybe you'd like to work out to my songs because they'll pump you up, right? All right. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. All right. I love you guys. Peace out, baby. Bye-bye.